Well, there you go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let It Run podcast for the last Saturday in January as we approach the Triple Crown Trail. My name is John, the traveling handicapper, and we have Freddie Bro York sitting next to me here at Monmouth Park in the NHC qualifier, and a special guest who has been on the show a couple times in the past. He is the expert at Gulfstream. So when we need good information, we have to go to the source.
Let's
So
go,
Gus
Gus.
Alonso from Brisnet Spotlight Selections. Welcome, Gus.
Oh, nice to be back with you guys. Good afternoon at Hallandale. Nice racing, and glad to be on again for sure.
Yeah, I think the racing's good at Tampa. We're in the contest with that, and they got hundred and some horses over 9 races, so that's
Yeah,
great racing
big
there.
field.
Gulfstream
Big.
has a great end of the card with the stake races and the Triple Crown Trail, so should be a fun handicapping session here. Before we get started, welcome to everybody that's tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I want to thank our sponsors who have been with us since day one. Case's Pork Roll, good friend of ours, Tommy Dolan. Thanks for the support. Case Pork Roll for the taste. And Alicia, wish her all the best in her recovery, and the vape shop uh, on Route 33 for all your vaping needs. And let's see at the top. There we go. We could do
Go.
that. And now we got
Yep,
Brisnet, one
absolutely.
of our sponsors now, and so happy. And I know Gus is happy and Fred's happy that Brisnet joined as a
Yeah.
sponsor, and we could use all their products. And
Yes.
we'll be doing the Brisnet pick of the day, which will be JK's Brisnet pick of the day or Bro's Brisnet pick of the day, and we'll even get Gus involved, and he'll do a Gus Brisnet pick of the day because he does love Brisnet.
Oh yes, it's a great combination with Brisnet and in the show being on. This is moving forward, and I'm glad to be just a small part of it. I would like to say if we do good in this contest, I'm coming first or second place. You're going to get a lot of Brisnet's going to get a lot of feedback for sure. Yeah, you guys got to come through now.
Yep.
That's okay. I like pressure. Pressure don't bother me anymore. I've been through pressure. All right, well, let's go, John. Kick it off, bud.
All right, we got the eighth race at Gulfstream. Fred, I'll need your sheet again, your pick five. I did
Sure.
not save it when I typed up the tickets, and I'll add Gus's, and we'll have a ticker going right after we start the analysis here for our pick five tickets. They'll be scrolling along the bottom in a few moments. But the eighth race at Gulfstream kicks off at 3:45 Eastern. It's the Swale Stakes. It is 7 furlongs, and started out here. I got it down to a 2-horse race. The 6 could be a single on most tickets. He does look solid off those two, 8 and 9.5 length victories.
Yeah.
Yalpin, one of the hot sires. He's the speed. Just give the one a little look with Velasquez and Pletcher. He did it so nicely, his first time, stayed off the pace, and then he closed well. So all I could basically, see in this race starting out is the 6 and 1. I'm going to be, strong on those. Some tickets I'll even, single the 6. So somebody take it away. Fred, what do you got for first race?
Go around the horn. I agree. I mean, when you see my pick 5 ticket come up, you'll see that I single the 6. I don't see how this horse is going to get beat. You got Irad. Speaking of Brisnet, he's number 1 prime power +7, which means if he's +7 above the other horse below him, that increases the odds of winning to like 46%. He's already looking like he's basically going to be the speed of the speed in this race. I think from that outside post, Irad's going to definitely give him a good ride. And, it's the tricky 7 furlongs. I think the rail is a little bit trickier, which is kind of why I'm not really on the 1 as much. Although Johnny V just won the first race at Gulfstream on an 11-1 shot, so you might want to keep that in mind as you look ahead. But that's my take on that race.
Gus, what do you got?
Yeah, no doubt. The 6 is the horse to beat. Solitude Dude. He's had 2 blowout wins. He had small stakes back in early December at Tampa. Just don't know what he beat that day. But he does have the outside draw. He's got the speed. He looks like a single, but I'm also going to use a different horse, the 3, Epic Summer. Okay. Coming out of the Mucho Macho Man, that horse was less than 3-1 in that day. I thought it was a pretty quality field. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he wants to go any further than a mile, and he's cutting back here another furlong to 7/8. I think this might hit him right between the eyes. It's a quality horse. I think he might be able to rate if he doesn't get the lead, and I think he can pull a slight upset, maybe in that 4 to 6 to 1 range.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention that. I heard George Weaver talking that he really likes that horse a lot. So yeah, that would be my next ad, and yeah, at probably 5 6 to 1. It'd be a nice way to kick off the pick five if you beat the 6 and the 1. That would exponentially grow the ticket. So that's one that you could definitely add, and that would be my third ad if I had budget for it.
Yeah, the 6 is going
All
to
right.
be odds on. I mean, I think it'll
Yeah,
be
it
4 to
could be.
5 range.
Yeah, 3 to 5, 4 to 5.
Yep.
One should be about 2 to 1, 5 to 2, and then the 3 might drift, 5 6 to 1. So
Yep.
nice way to start it out if you could beat both of those favorites.
I
So,
agree.
all right, this next race we're going to go to ninth race, first race here on the grass in this sequence, 1 mile, and we'll have Fred start it off as I finish
Oh,
taking
thank
these
you, John.
tickets.
I'm glad you did that because this is Bros Brisnet play of the day. The number, a 5 to 1 morning line, not only trained by Brian Lynch, but also owned by Brian Lynch, which I find that to be a big plus as to why this horse is in this race. Has not been on turf before. I don't think the turf breeding is terrible, but what I really like is that this horse has been working out on turf the last 4 workouts and just looks like he loves this. He loves the turf. He's taken to the turf. The last 2 workouts have been superb. I think that last race that he had on dirt, running 7.5 furlongs, he didn't show much. That's fine. That was his first first race off of a little layoff. He was off since March, so came back in November after a layoff, just got his feet back under him a little bit. And I think Brian Lynch was looking forward to this race. It's an optional claim in 25. Okay, not a big deal, but I think this horse has a good chance. And at 5 to 1, I hope he stays around 5 to 1. I really, really like this horse.
Gus, what do you see on this grass
I'm on.
race?
I spread in this race, but I'm on the same horse on top for Lynch. They tried to get him on the grass twice at Gulfstream, and they got washed off. They went to the Tapeta, and like Fred mentioned, look at his works is strictly on the turf. They want this horse on the turf. We know Lynch is winning at 33% for the meet. Louis Saez gets a nice inside post. I mean, there's a lot to like. I just hope the price holds up. There is there are some other contenders, but to me, he offers the best value anywhere near that 5 to 1. It's my top selection. But I'm also going to be using a few more. I'm going to be using the 1 a little bit here. This horse is taking money every time out. Goes out for a newborn. It's getting better and better, and it's off to a nice start at Gulfstream Park. He's going to be a little bit of a price. I'm also going to use a couple of the logicals here with the. I'm also going to use the 3. Ever Dangerous is a horse. That's from a hot barn here. We know this barn's doing well. Drexler, Johnny V. This horse has some speed.
Yeah,
he could be in the mix as well. The 5, should improve second off the break, and then the Multiverse is a horse that's caught seconditis, but these horses, he's always right there, so it's hard to leave him off a ticket like this. And I also use last a bit longer on the outside there a little bit. This horse has been ultra consistent, and I would use this horse as well.
Yeah, it's a spread race for me too. I was going to really dive in and lean on the 4 horse. I really like the 4 for Whit Beckman. Blinkers Go On, a series of great works. Cutting back to this mile where he has the win. A lot to like there. But the more I dove into it, the 2 that you both like, got to include him. Also defensively going to use the 5, but the 5 really, God, if I had, the stones, I would almost like toss him, but he's never been on the turf.
Yeah.
There's no real turf breeding there at all. I think they're just trying it to try something. I mean, it's, Pin Oak Stud, they paid $575. They wanted to keep it on the dirt. It took him, forever to, break his maiden, but then he ran good in the Hutchinson. and just seems to, like Gus said, have seconditis. Now they're just trying the grass.
Yeah,
Doesn't really have any signs that, oh yeah, the grass is what he wants. There's no
Right.
breed for it. So he could drift up. I mean, he could be 5, 6 to 1
I think
by
so.
post time. But I don't want to get beat by him, but I don't want him at all. I would use the 8 and the 11 as prices. And the more I studied last night late, the 1 and the 3, as Gus mentioned, I am going to use both of them as well on my bigger tickets. So I almost had every horse covered for the start of my own personal tickets, and it's probably going to be an all button, and just hopefully get lucky. But for this purpose, on the show here, my ticker going across is 2, 4, 5, 8, and 11 are my top picks, and then I would include the 1 and 3 if you could fit them in. So
Well, John, in
basically.
our lingo, or let him run lingo, in the article
He froze
Hey,
up.
your favorite
You're
words.
always
to
freezing
use.
up, Fred.
I said I'm going to fade. I'm going to fade the 5. So
Yep.
I didn't use it on my ticket. You can see I went a little skinny here because I like 2 so much. So
Yep.
I like using that term, John. Appreciate you letting me use that term today, John. Fade.
We'll come up with a glossary of let it run idiosyncrasy
Gus
terminology.
down here in Florida are boots on the ground.
These are boots in the ground in Florida, in a
Yeah.
chilly Tampa area
Yeah.
right now.
Oh,
It is kind of chilly.
yeah, come to New Jersey and let's talk about
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah. It's about
All right.
65
All right.
right now.
All right, let's see. We are going to move over to the middle leg of the pick 5 here, the 10th race. It's 7 furlongs on the dirt, 1 turn, the forward gal stakes. There's 2. There's probably like 2 that are going to take most of the money. The 4 Mythical, who has the speed and really hasn't done nothing wrong except getting cooked in a speed duel against Tommy Joe in the spinaway. Tommy Joe is definitely one of the tops of the class, so that did not disgrace. But it is a Florida bred, 5 out of 6 lifetime. Will be maybe challenged on the lead a little bit here. And then the Brad Cox pair, which the 6 is going to take a lot of the money, but I'm leaning towards the other Brad Cox, 8-1 morning line, sneaky good. Not hearing that many people like picking them on top. They're all between the 4 and the 6, but I'm thinking the 5. It's really bred for 2 turns, and it's probably going to get better on the Kentucky Oaks Trail. But 7 furlongs, maybe if they mix it up on the front end, this one can sit off the pace a little bit and get going a little bit earlier in the season rather than waiting for a 2-turn race. But that's one that I'm going to keep my eye on moving forward for the Kentucky Oaks when it gets to 2 turns. So I would be let me see my ticket. I guess I was 4, 5, 6, like right in the middle there. That's what I'm going to use all 3. But the 5 at the price I'm rooting for and be my top pick. And I would be a little bit scared of the 8 horse, the Pletcher horse on the outside. Should get a nice stalking trip out there, but just didn't have room to include him. So make my 5 the top pick and include the 4 and the 6. Gus, what do you got?
I'm pretty much on the same ones, 4, 5, 6, 8. I do use the 8 for Pletcher on the outside, as you mentioned. Outside post at 7 furlongs, especially at Gulfstream. I don't know. You just get to survey the field. And with Johnny V, the way he's riding at a top-notch level, I think he's going to make every decision, make it the right decision. So I do have to put him in. I'm on sneaky good as well with John. This horse has done nothing wrong. She's been favored both times for Cox. She's bred impeccable by into mischief, and she gets Tyler Gaffleon. So I like her. She's a little bit of a price, and the 6 horse. As John mentioned, maybe just I don't know why they keep continuing putting her at 1 turn, but she looks to me that she's a route runner down the road. But she could win here. There's no doubt about that. She does have some tactical speed, and then Mythical, the Florida bred, she's a complete win machine. So it's tough to leave those types out, especially in a pick 5 ticket. So I'm including her. This seems like maybe a little bit of a step up in class, but she likes to win and she likes to get her picture taken. So I got to include her on the ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I have the 4, 5, 6 included on my ticket that you can see scrolling across the bottom. But I sandwiched around those the number 2 horse Tessellate. I love anytime Junior Alvarado gets on a horse that has some closing speed. This horse won his last 2 races. The last one was at 7 furlongs at Tampa, so now he's coming over to Gulfstream Park. Horse always runs a good race. This is the first time Johnny V is getting on him. Interesting that Zayas obviously gets on a horse that he has never been on before, which is the favorite mythical, or second choice favorite, sorry, for Jorge Delgado. I find that kind of interesting. So I think Saffie turning to Alvarado on a horse that's got closing ability, and may have to step up in class here for sure, but already won at 7 furlongs. So I went a little deeper. I went to 2, 4, 5, 6, and of course the 8, which you guys both talked about the 8 a little bit. I don't think the 8 certainly can be tossed. Again, you mentioned this, Gus. Johnny V, outside post, 7 furlongs, could be big. Buyer speed figure went up quite a bit last time when he was at Gulfstream Park. So had a nice workout, about a week or 10 days ago. So I went a little deeper on that. So let's go on to the 11th race, John. You can lead it off again, John.
All right, 11th race is the Sweet Champ, mile and 16th on the turf for the 3-year-old fillies. Let Gus start this one and get us going here.
All right, my top choice, Scratch, ended up scratching, which is on the outside, Spirit Dull. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But I am 3 deep here. I'm going to use the 1, the 2, and the 8. The 2 to me is an interesting long shot for Brandon Walsh and Tyler Gaffleon. They win races in bunches, and this horse really showed a tremendous kick last time, and she should get a nice stalking inside trip. I like her at a price. The 1, obviously, I can't leave this barn off at this time. Hot Barn, and this horse, another one that shows a big late kick. And recently, in the last about 2 weeks, I mean, at the beginning of the championship meet, it seemed like the speed was holding up a lot on turf, but it's been pretty fair lately. I've seen both, front runners hold, and you've seen some, paces that are not too quick, and the race collapse here, and the horse is coming from behind. And you definitely want to be in the inside and maybe find a seam and come through. And Vasquez, he's eligible to do that as well.
He's already done it, yeah.
Yeah, he does it. And, of course, the leader in the clubhouse in this division right now is Sister Troyenne. This horse has done nothing wrong. They took a race, a couple back off the turf, and she ran well on the synthetic. Seems like she can't do no wrong. I think, she's going to be a low price. She has to include, but tell you what, I don't think she overwhelms this field. I'm going to try to beat her, but I'm going to include her as well.
Okay. I sing with this horse. I just don't see how this horse. Again, John and I talked about this a little bit last night. The races aren't run on paper; they're run out there on the turf or the dirt, wherever they're run. I mean, on paper, this horse looks like this horse should be tough to beat. Mario Gutierrez and Brian Lynch, when they pair up together, they win at a very high frequency. At Gulfstream Park, they're hitting at 47%. Elsewhere, they're hitting at 31%. Obviously, when this horse wins his last start, which is ridiculous because he's won 4 in a row, that's a big percentage too. But I'm not sure how much. Obviously, the pick 5, if my ticket comes through, will pay. But because I used the obvious favorite in the first leg and obvious favorite in this leg, but I'm hoping for a little prices somewhere along the way. When we get to the last race, we'll talk about what happened to my ticket with some of the scratches there. But we'll let that go for now and go ahead and take the mantle and go ahead and jump on this race.
Yeah, Fred, your ticket's like $45, so it makes it, worth it if you got those 2 singles that are the favorites. Then you spread enough in the other races to, make it pay and, show a return on your investment. But if those other races, you went really deeper and the ticket would be, $144, $192, then you're really up against it, leaning on those 2, favorite singles. But with a low ticket, you could definitely do it and hit it multiple times.
You can pay for $1 if you want. It'd be $90.
So I really like this race, the 6 horse, Brian Lynch's other horse in here. If you went back and watched the replay, got a little bit of trouble last time, but then when he got clear, he finished well. And then like deep in the stretch, he was behind a horse and then he, jostled them to get clear sailing. And then he really took off at that point. And he was gaining on the 8 at that point there. So if they went another 16th of a mile, it would have really got close at the end. Sister Troyenne did nothing wrong, just makes his own trip, makes her own trip where she just gets out there, and Gutierrez is the best turf rider, in the country. So, really going to be tough to beat, but everybody's single. And I just think that she might be a little bit vulnerable going that, extra 16th of a mile here today against this field. So I'm going to, lean on the 6 Storm's Wake in the contest. I'm going to make a nice win play on Storm's Wake there. Probably box the exacta
Okay.
6-8 them too. And the other one I could use is the 10 from out there, Brad Cox's horse, Ortiz. Won a conditioned allowance, non-winners of 2 allowance last time. Should get a good trip from out there. Another one I could use. But then when I'm, Gus is talking about the 1 and the 2, I kind of, I could see why, that 2 rolled home for Brendan Walsh at 18-1 and just rolled by them at a mile. So definitely one I could use. And the 1 has done nothing wrong, but he's just got no speed. But you got the hottest trainer, in the country right now with that barn, like Gus said. So ticket purposes, I'd be 6-8 and a little bit of 10. But all my other tickets, I'm going to include that, the 1-2 for sure. They have a look here, and can they step into this stakes company? Can the 2 step up from a maiden special weight into a stakes race second start? Whereas the 6 and the 8 and the 10 all have proven stakes ability and stakes wins. So that's a lot to ask for the 2, but you have no idea. It could be that good. So moving over to the last leg, the Holy Bull, the race the day is named after. Great Holy Bull. We'll go back and watch that Travers victory, Holy Bull, one of the greatest, 5-horse races, and how he pulled that off. Holy Bull was, one of the all-time greats for Jimmy Kroll. So we are here, 3 scratches, gets the field down to a total of 6, but an interesting 6 horses with, a few different ways you could go. And it is a points race going on to the Kentucky Derby. So, and like we were talking earlier before we jumped on air, that every other jurisdiction is in trouble with the weather, with their horses not being able to get out and work out. New York, they're stuck in the barns. Oaklawn, they had to postpone the Southwest to next week. They're not working out regularly. Fairgrounds is hit or miss. Laurel here on the East Coast, they're, hit or miss with the weather. So Florida really has the advantage, and pay attention to that moving forward. Anybody coming out of Florida, which, man, that pains me to say, and Gus knows that. But if you're shipping from Florida up to, Aqueduct for a stake race or something, you're probably going to have a fitness edge on the rest of the country. So, pay a little mind to that. Anybody out of Florida going to a different jurisdiction would have like a fitness edge against the other ones that are unfortunately stuck in the barns. So now we are into this race here. We deep dived yesterday, every single horse we went through, me and Fred. You could watch that replay from yesterday's happy hour. So, interesting race that I hate to go deep and all, but got to use a couple of them. But the 5 now with all the scratches looks like the lone speed. I mean, he should shake.
Yeah.
Especially after the 2 scratch, that made it, even better, where, he could really control the pace and get around here. And he did it, pretty nicely last time. What was surprising was that, he was unveiled in June as an early 2-year-old at Churchill. 1.75, Stone Street horse here for early June. That's not the, MO. Then they, backed off and, let the horse grow up a little bit, came back second start and did what he was supposed to do and did it professionally and looked good, doing it. So I just think, controlling speed here. Got to see if the 7, can run back to those big numbers, and can he get 2 turns? The New York bred on the outside is not, out of it. If he could stay close enough, his numbers compare here. Incredible. Just won the Street Sense, the same race that Sovereignty won last year with the same exact buyer. So Randy Moss was talking the other day saying just based on the improves, he expects, Incredible to run like a 91 buyer, which is that good enough to win this race? It could be. But I don't think Riley Mott is worried about this race. I don't think the horse is going to be fully cranked. I think he follows in his father's footsteps of the ultimate goal is in May. So I would be probably off Incredible a little bit this time. And I'm going to just, keying on the 5, getting the perfect trip and wiring this field.
Yeah, to me, the 5 is strictly the one to beat. As you mentioned, he's got the edge from a pace standpoint, which he should be in the front, and that's going to help out. This is the first time, obviously, going 2 turns, but it is the first finish line, so that comes up pretty quick. So he should have no problem getting the distance. He should have no problem, holding them at bay. The other ones. And in his maiden win, if you saw that his second race, as you mentioned, it was separated. He started in June and then he waited a while, and it was a loose horse that race in front of him, and he just said still he never. And that horse was like in and out, right in front of him, and he never even blinked an eye. And he just at the end, the loose horse went wide, turning for home, and he just stepped into a different gear. I think this horse is well meant. I see him winning this and going straight into the Florida Derby. He's the one to beat. And then just for a backup, I am going to use horse that John mentioned as well. For Pletcher, the 7, Nearly. I think this horse is moving in the right direction. I think 2 turns shouldn't be a problem. I just think the problem is he going to be able to catch Cannoneer? I don't see that happening today, but I'll use him just in case. Something, if someone is able to put some pressure, but now with the scratch with the 2, I see it very difficult for this horse to have anything wrong with him unless he doesn't break alertly, which I don't see that being a problem.
But Gus has to throw in the Florida bread. That's for sure. I know that.
Well, if you look at my ticket, you'll see I have my ticket laid out like this before the scratch of the 2. Now my basic last leg of the sequence becomes an all with all the horses that are in there. So if for some crazy reason it gets to that point and the ticket's alive, I hope we're all alive in our own way. That would be kind of interesting. I love the 7. I love Johnny V on that horse. I think Todd Pletcher's looking for this horse to get ready for the Derby. Obviously, he's not going to he's got a long ways to go before he gets him ready, so to speak. But if this horse can now overcome the conditions that are facing him now, with the fact that the 5 will be the controlling pace, I have to believe, Gus and John, that, these jockeys, I know they do. They look at the forms like we do, the past performances, and I'm sure Johnny V is saying, oh, hell, I know now I got to get my horse up a little bit closer to being with Cannoneer than maybe he wouldn't want to be so far back behind, which, I think if the race was 9 horses in the race and there was a big speed battle in front, he may be better off sitting back and waiting and then making one big move around the turn. He's got the best Tomlinson number for this distance in the race. So for young horses, I do tend to put a little weight on the Tomlinson number that a horse has if they're trying, a distance for the first time, or they're going to continue to grow at that distance, not necessarily the first time, but for the 7, it is the first time at that distance. So I think the Tomlinson makes if the 7, if Nearly wins this horse, I can tell you right now, that's going to be my Derby horse. If that horse wins this race, you can count on it now. You can say you heard it here first. That's going to be my Derby horse, okay? And I'm off all my medication, so you have to understand it's a clear head speaking. The voice may be weak. Some people may not say the mind is strong, but nevertheless, it's a clear head.
Hey, if I can say something on that horse 7 again, Nearly, you mentioned the Tomlinson, the late figure, also with the Brisnet, the late pace. He's got the advantage on that. Yep. And I'll tell you what, if you go back in the history of that stat, especially when they go 9 furlongs next time, and the Fountain of Youth, the Risen Star, and of course the Rebel, and races like that, that figure is very important when they stretch out to 9 furlongs. He's got the advantage here today. That's one to keep an eye on for sure.
Well, let's see how it plays out, but that's a good point. Brisnet has that late pace figure as the best in the field, correct?
Yes, he's the top.
That just adds another cherry on top of it. So let's see how it works out.
Just a short stretch there. The first finish line is a little bit against him because he's got to get going pretty quick around that turn.
That's true. Well,
if
I'm
he's
sure
going to catch.
Not in the Hall of Fame, but I said I'm going to hang my hat right on that horse for the rest of the season, even though I'll be looking around. But we'll see how it goes. All right, Johnny, any final words there? I know your head's turned. Don't get your head turned too hard, Johnny. I know you're looking at that race.
Yeah, I was looking at Tampa Bay race 2. Yeah, contest. I had a show bet, and the horse had to do everything in his power to get up for third. So,
Did he get
but
up
we
to
did get
third?
knocked. He got up for third, but that was just a
Yeah, that didn't
mandatory out of the
matter.
way.
It's all that matters. How he got there
But
doesn't matter. He got there.
we played a pick 5 ticket with 7 horses deep, and we don't have the first and second place finishers. We missed the 2 and the 7. It's unbelievable. I don't even know if they went off.
Oh my God.
Uh, yeah, 7 deep, and the
That's-
top 2 finishers we don't
Welcome
have.
to Tampa.
That's man. Wadey's going to text me right now and say you should have went all. If you're that deep, you might as well add the last 4 horses.
Yeah.
Ugh. God, 3-7 it came in, so I don't even know what they
Yes,
went
you know,
off.
the good thing about a live program like this is you really see the raw emotion. John,
Yeah,
right
I
now.
was watching last week when John had that 29-1 horse. He wasn't
Oh,
sure if he
yeah.
had him, and he
Yeah.
ended up hitting that pick 6. That was pretty wild. He goes, "You sure we got him? I don't know. Do we get him?"
Yeah, we got him. That was 10,500. We caught that one. That was nice.
The raw
Very
emotion, raw emotion. So we'll see.
Horse that just won 39-1.
Wow.
Oh,
39-1.
Yeah.
At Tampa? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Um,
I mean, that's not a contest. Good luck.
look at that. There was 3 horses I left off the ticket, and they ran 1-2. Ugh.
Wow.
All right, so I got at least a good show price on my mandatory, so I should get maybe $4 to show now.
There you go.
All right, so we are going to cut off here, and we're going to go back to the contest and try to make a run at an NHC seat. And we're hoping for the exacta of Traveling Handicapper and Bro York 1-2 today. So if we wind up
Go
doing
get 'em.
something like that, we will have a quick show at the end of the day live about how we made out. But we will be back next Friday for sure for the happy hour show. But before that, we will have a couple days where we'll come home with Spot Brisnet picks of the day. So look for that. We'll set them up for depending on how the weather is here in the Northeast.
Yes, yes.
Monday through Thursday, we'll come up with at least 2 picks somewhere along the way. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button at the bottom. And I want to thank Gus for taking time out of his busy Saturday afternoon and joining us here today and sharing your expertise. And Gus's Spotlight Selections is available every weekend on Brisnet. Check them out. Tons of information about a lot of horses. So definitely worth the read. And I think that's it for me. Any other last words, Gus?
Hey, pleasure again being on. I appreciate it. Want to wish you guys good luck today. I know you've done it before there at Monmouth, and hopefully you and Fred can, round out the exacta. That would be something for sure. It'd be great to be in Vegas, I'm sure.
We could even box the exact. It doesn't matter who comes in first. That's fine with me.
I think
take
John's
second.
the chalk.
I'll take second.
John's definitely chalk. I'm definitely a long shot. But Gus, always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you coming on the show again, taking time away. Love having you on the show. Love being a part of Brisnet. Let's keep that growing. We'll see how the Bros Brisnet pick of the day goes today. Gus, I'm glad to hear you like that horse as well. That would be a nice way for that horse to come in. So as we finish up, I'm just going to say once again, as we close out our show, hey, bet smart, cheer hard. Hopefully we get some fast horses because that's some serious fun. And as we always say, John, take us out. Let him run. Good luck.
Let them run, everybody.
All right,
Good
take care.
Good race.